Last week, my boyfriend and I decided we wanted to go on a road trip down to his parents' summer house in Baja for the weekend. So we loaded up his car with coolers and surfboards and hit the road. It was going to be 10 hours of driving without breaks, but we wanted to get it all done in one day so as to, maximize beach time. Even though we got an early start, it got hot fast. To make things worse, we quickly discovered that the air conditioning in his car had stopped working. The combination of the black seat leather, the unadulterated sunlight coming through my open window, and the heat and humidity soon turned my lower back into a seething lagoon of sweatiness. Obviously, it gets worse. The more I felt myself sweating, the more I resolved myself not to move away from the seat back. After all, if I did, I would reveal a disgusting damp patch the size of a child. Except that the more I stayed exactly where I was, the more I sweated, and therefore the more imperative it became that I not move. It was a sort of nightmare scenario from which people wake up in cold sweats and then realize that they're in that exact scenario because of how much they're sweating, and then wake up again for real, because of Inception. Obviously, it gets worse, because 2 hours in, I started having to pee, and badly. My boyfriend noticed I was squirming in my seat and gallantly pulled into a rest stop, but, like the proverbial immovable object, I would not be moved. I insisted that I didn't have to pee, and 2 minutes of back and forth ended up with me screaming at him to get back on the highway. I held my pee for 10 straight hours of driving. When we finally got to the house, I sprinted into the beach house like a maniac and made a beeline for the bathroom. I went back to help unload the car and found my boyfriend was still in the driver's seat, laughing his ass off. I looked at my seat and saw a literal puddle of sweat trickling off the seat and out the door. The next day, I got my sweat glands removed by a Mexican doctor. Now I cool myself by panting, like a dog.